Thank you very much. Let's hear it for the brass band over there. Great job. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being out here. This is what makes our ceremony so special and so successful each and every year. Today, we remember the heroes whose courage and sacrifice secured the freedoms that we enjoy today. Their service reminds us that patriotism is not only spoken, it is lived through dedication, sacrifice, and the love of our country. May we never forget those who laid down their lives so others may live in liberty and peace. Please rise for the posting of the colors by the Ocean Township Police Department Honor Guard and Boy Scout Troop 71. Gotta love our police over here. Thank you for being out here.
Teacher, attention! Teacher, present on.
Please remain standing and join me in a Pledge of Allegiance performed by Matt Reppy. Matt?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Matt. At this time, if you could please remain standing as we sing our national anthem sung by Elizabeth Russamano. Where are you, Elizabeth? Oh, you got your own mic. Ah, here we go. She's a little special here.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful. Thank you, Elizabeth. Please remain standing as we do an opening prayer performed by John Cummins from VFW Post 2226.
Eternal Father, gather on this Memorial Day in solemn remembrance. Remember that before this great nation was a nation, the sons and daughters of these United States were laying down their lives for it and for us. We pause to honor the men and women who laid down their lives in service of our nation, giving not only their strength and their courage, but their very breath. Grant us hearts worthy of their sacrifice. May their devotion to duty inspire us in a deeper love of country, a greater commitment to peace, and a renewed dedication to caring for one another. Bless the families who still carry the weight of loss surrounded them with comfort, strength, and the assurance that their loved ones are never forgotten. As we begin the time of reflection, guide our thoughts, steady our spirits, and help us to honor the fallen with gratitude, humility, and unity. Amen.
Thank you, John. You may be seated. I'd like to introduce some of our dignitaries that are here today, starting with the Ocean Township Council, Deputy Mayor David Fisher, Councilwoman Gita Kaplan, Councilwoman Grace Ann Tallarico, and Councilman Rob Achera. We also have former Deputy Mayor Rich Long out there. We have former Councilman John Huss, and I believe he's our oldest living former councilman in the Township of Ocean. Thank you for being out here, John. We have our Chief, Mike Sorrentino. We have our Township Manager and newly elected councilman in the city of Long Branch, David Brown, who is also a veteran. So thank you, Dave, for being out here today. We have our Office of Emergency Management, Tom Rue. We have Director Tracy Berkowitz. We have Director Mike Patrico, Director Steve Higgins. We have Paul Edelson, who's the head of our Historical Museum. We have our Township Engineer, Greg Blash. Thank you for being out here today. Before I call up our other dignitaries that will be speaking for Memorial Day today, I'd like to take the time to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for this great country we call the United States of America. And over the years, the Township of Ocean suffered losses of soldiers who served this great country with honor and dignity. One person I'd like to say a few words about today is U.S. Marine Sergeant Alan D. Sherman. Deputy Mayor Dave Fisher walked through the halls with Alan as he graduated a year before Alan did. Alan graduated in 1986. I walked through those halls 3 years after him. I met his mother many years ago at Cedar Village, where I told her I had heard the story of Alan. And she was so pleased that the Boy Scouts honored her son's memory each and every year. And now that that troop has officially closed down, I want to honor his memory this year. Sergeant Sherman graduated from the Ocean Township High School in 1986. He enlisted in the United States Marine Reserves in 1994, fulfilling a lifelong dream of being a U.S. Marine. Sergeant Sherman served proudly as a member of Bridge Company B of the 6th Engineer Support Battalion and was deployed to Iraq in the service of his country in February 2004. On June 29th, at age 36, he was killed in eastern Iraq by a roadside bomb. His brother Michael Sherman described his brother as bigger than life and said that he provided something for his sons, Joshua at the time, age 10, and Logan, age 7. He left them his honorable name as a hero and as a loving father. We know that Alan's sacrifice was not given in vain, and that we are a grateful people for his sacrifice. Thank you to Alan, thank you to his family for his sacrifice, and all the soldiers that paid that ultimate sacrifice so that we can stand here today for one thing, and that's freedom. Thank you to all the soldiers that gave that sacrifice in their lives. Now I'd like to start off with a friend of mine, Commander Mark Rubenstein, who will be from the Jewish War Vets, Post 125. Mark, come on up. Here you go.
Thank you, Mayor.
Township Council members, veterans, and Americans, we welcome you here today. Just a little history first. On May 5, 1868, an order issued by General Logan established May 30, 1868, a day of remembrance for those soldiers who died during the Civil War. Flowers were placed on the graves of the fallen soldiers of both Union and Confederate armies. This continued until May 30, 1971, when the National Holiday Act designated Memorial Day a national holiday to be held on the last Monday of May, and is why we're all here today. Sadly, though, many Americans have lost their connection with Memorial Day. To them, it is a 3-day weekend filled with barbecues, picnics, opening pools, trying out for the beach for the first time, and a major shopping day, a time to get away from the normal workings of the week. For others, it is the beginning of the summer, a time to look forward to the long days of summer, and time to plan summer getaways. Unfortunately, these Americans have forgotten the significance of Memorial Day, but not veterans, not armed forces personnel, not Boy Scouts, not Girl Scouts around the country, all of whom place thousands of U.S. flags in cemeteries around the country where veterans are buried. These flags are placed on veterans' graves, prayers recited. I hereby give credit to Monmouth County, who provides all of the flags to the 3,000 plus Monmouth County cemeteries free of charge for the Americans. Americans here today, veterans and non-veterans, come to Memorial Day services to honor those who so bravely served and gave their lives to the ideals of the United States. This Memorial Day, as in the past, we remember all who died in uniform in conflict and those who survived and have since passed. We honor the ideals and values those soldiers stood for and died defending. You are here making a difference by honoring the fallen veterans and not forgetting their sacrifices. The National Moment of Remembrance resolution passed in December 2000 asks that at 3 p.m. local time on Memorial Day, all Americans observe in their own way a moment of remembrance and pause from whatever they are doing for a moment of silence. I play taps and salute the flag. I am proud to be an American and a veteran. Thank you all for being here, and God bless the United States of America. Kaufman. Resnick. Leonard Rokor. Morton H. Burke. Warren Epstein. Seymour Greenspan. Abraham Lassery. Alfred Pesco.
Thank you, Mark. It's always sad when you hear the names, especially one name on there in particular, Lenny Rokoff, who I served on the DLA Commission for over 8 years. He was really a great guy. Next up, I'd like to call another friend of mine, who I apologize since I didn't call him up and coordinate my Tylus Day today. Commander Mack, you make me look bad today, but that's okay, because you'll always outrank me, all right? So you're the boss today. Come on up, Commander. From VFW Post 2226.
Mayor, council, ladies and gentlemen, my honor to be here today. Unfortunately, the weather's not permitting for this. I'd like to have that the memorial, but unfortunately we have choices, and there are ways to take care of us. But today, excuse me, today, I'm paying tribute to the men and women that have paid their ultimate price. They got it. Just trying to help. Paid the ultimate price for what they believe in. Serving their country to the very best of their ability. And protecting our democracy and our freedom. We have to protect that at all costs. We have fought a long, hard for this. And paid the ultimate price to preserve this. So today, we want to say thanks in our own special way. So please, take a minute and do just that. We can give them a minute. They gave us a lifetime. Thank you. VFW, please. Stand up front there. Start out with Dan Julio. He was my standing, my sitting senior commander. He was a good man, and he will always be forgotten. May he rest in peace. Jack Longo was also standing trustee, sitting trustee. He also was a very good man, and asset to the post. George. Irvin Handel. Harry Bennett. Richard Brown. William Clancy. Mark. John Kritzky. Joseph Lyons. Leroy Mitchell. Maxwell Musgrove. Norm Palmer.
Thank you, Commander Mack. That's a tough year for these guys. They lost a lot. Call up Commander Rob McKnight from Catholic War Vets, Post 714.
Good morning. So first off, I just want to say thank you, Mayor, Council, distinguished guests, Jen, everyone who put this together, and thank you for scrambling and being able to set it up here, keep us out of the rain. I would encourage everyone, when you're able to pay a visit over to the Veterans Memorial, and just reflect on their sacrifices. It's a wonderful, it's a beautiful memorial that Jim Mack was instrumental in getting set up. When you can, please pay a visit over there. So on this day every year, we honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. May those sacrifices be for each of us a constant reminder of the cost of liberty and the cost of freedoms which we enjoy. Memorial Day was born out of the Civil War. It was called Decoration Day. The original date was May 30th, and that date was chosen to ensure that there would be fresh spring flowers to place on the graves of the soldiers. That date gradually expanded to include all military members who died in any war. It was made an official holiday by Congress in 1971. May the courage and sacrifice for those who gave up everything so that our nation could endure, inspire each of us to live our lives with purpose and meaning. Never take for granted or squander what we have been given. Everything we have has come at a cost, from the founding of our nation to the present day. And that cost was paid for in lives. In closing, let us remember the words from 1868 of Brevet Lieutenant Colonel Edmund B. Whitman, who said, "The nation which respects and honors its dead shall ever be respected and honored." If I could have my two Catholic War veterans volunteer. So the Catholic War Veterans Post 714, we lost 5 members this year. Bob and Teresa. Thomas Charmont. Daniel Schumann. Pat D'Esposito. And the last one, that was a member of our post, great humanitarian man, wonderful man, probably one of the most eloquent speakers if you ever had the privilege of hearing him speak, but Lou Parisi Sr. Thank you, John.
Next up, I'd like to call up Commander Michael Palutis from the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 29.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone. Today we gather to remember the brave men and women who gave their lives in service of this country. For the last 250 years, generations of Americans have answered the call to serve and defend our great nation. Their sacrifice helped secure our liberty and freedoms our founding fathers sought to establish in their attempt to form a more perfect union. As a young child growing up in northeastern Pennsylvania, I remember accompanying my father to Memorial Day services, not quite understanding why we were there, as I held his oversized hand in a crowd of strangers. I once asked, "Why are we here?" He glanced down and replied, "This is what we do today." Memorial Day reminds us that freedom is never free, and that each generation has a responsibility to honor and protect what we have. It is our responsibility to remember those that have passed in service to this great nation. Let us also remember the families whose sacrifice continues long after military service ends. They deserve our deepest gratitude. After we depart the ceremony and spend time with family and friends, let us remember the words of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Those who have long enjoyed such freedoms and privileges as we forget in time that men and women died for those freedoms. On behalf of the Disabled American Veterans Fort Monmouth Memorial Chapter 29, I thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. And may God always protect our sailors, our Marines, our soldiers, and our airmen. Thank you. Today we remember two of our members. We had a number of members pass this year, but they're also members of our sister organizations. Today we remember Jack Longo from our chapter. He was also a member of the VFW and a number of other organizations. He was a Seavey with the Navy for many years. We also remember Larry Robertson, a member of our chapter. That's Rich. He was a member of our chapter and a number of other chapters throughout the area. He served at Fort Monmouth at his last duty station, and he was a lifetime member of the Disabled American Veterans when they first started in the late 60s. Thank you.
Next up, I'd like to call Don Brockle for Boy Scout Troop 71 for the Scout reading.
inviting us again. It's always an honor to be here. Council, veterans, public, mayor. We try our best to bring these young men up. We have leaders that have brought them to Gettysburg, to Valley Forge, and we're heading out to Annapolis on November 21st to see some folks down there, and maybe see with Mike's daughter, if that's possible. But we try to give experiences of what veterans are about, what service is about, and this is part of the service that we ask. On Tuesday, the Scouts planted about 1,700 flags in 3 various different cemeteries, Neptune, West Long Branch, and in Neptune. So they did a great job of that. They had to think twice about what they were doing, what the name and the service that the veteran served, and there's some usually information on the cemetery stone about him, and they learn a lot. And so I thank you for that opportunity and the opportunity today to speak. One of the things that we have 3 Scouts in the service today. Andrew Brennan, who's a captain. He's down at, I think he's at Fort Benning. Sean Holman is also at Benning, and we had Tommy Lavin, who's heading out to Fort Carson. He called me yesterday, and he's heading a new unit. He's a captain also. And Andrew Ayers, who's in the Navy, soon to retire. All Eagle Scouts from Troop 71. So I'm very proud. We're all very proud of them serving our country. One of the things we did a couple weeks ago, we took the kids to Horsham Park. We camped there. There's a little site, a cabin, and we took them on a walk, 5-mile walk. Went to the old Twin Lights, and didn't think anything about it. A couple days later, I got something on my Facebook page that was about the Twin Lights. And what a lot of people don't know, the pledge that we pledged today, said today, was first said in the 1800s, actually the exact date, April 25th, 1893. It was first recited right there at the Twin Lights, because immigrants were coming in. The first thing they saw coming into America was the American flag that was just hoisted up at the Twin Lights. And that was the day that we spoke the Pledge of Allegiance for the first time. I thought that was very historic and something everybody should know. I did not hear that fact. Anyway, with that said, I introduce Matt McCann, our Senior Patrol Leader.
The Scouts and leaders of Troop 71 Oakhurst honor the men and women who have served both fallen in defense of our great nation. Scouts, please present the reading.
And I'm a Star Scout with Scouting America's Troop 71 here in Ocean Township. Memorial Day means many things to many people, but to me, the most important thing is this. It is not a celebration, it is a commemoration. There is a difference. We're not here to party, we're here to remember the men and women who gave their lives fighting for our freedom, fighting for you and me. And remembering matters more than we sometimes realize. Without days like today, without the books and the journals and stories passed down from those who have witnessed these wars firsthand, the memory begins to fade. Even the greatest sacrifices can grow dim for the generations that follow. That is why we gather. That is why we stand here together, so that the next generation and the generation after that will still know the names, still feel the weight, and still carry the gratitude forward. This year, makes that remembrance even more meaningful. Because 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of our nation. America is young by the standards of the world, but young does not mean weak, and young does not mean without honor. Through struggles and setbacks, through victories and failures, we have built something worth protecting, and something absolutely worth remembering. King Charles III recently offered a wry observation about our independence. He said, 250 years ago, or as we say in the United Kingdom, just the other day, they declared independence. I thought that was pretty funny, but it also made me think, if 250 years feels brief to an ancient institution like the British monarchy, imagine how much longer America still has ahead. If we do our job of honoring and preserving what our fallen soldiers died to protect. Now I want to talk about something close to my heart, scouting. The Scout Oath calls us to our duty to God and country, to help other people at all times, to keep ourselves strong in mind and body. Scout law requires us to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, brave, reverent, among other things. Those are not just words we recite at the start of the meeting. They are a way of life. And here is what strikes me. Standing here today, those are the same values that define the men and women we are honoring. They were trustworthy, they were loyal to each other, to their country, and to us. People they would never meet. But they were brave beyond measure. And they were helpful in the most profound way a human being can be. They gave everything so that others could live free. Robert Baden-Powell, the founder of Scouting, was once asked what a scout should always be prepared for. He answered simply, well, for any old thing. My father always says that in any emergency, a well-trained scout is one of the most prepared people in the room. Not because they know how to build a fire or tie a knot, but because we have been trained to step up, to take responsibility, to do what needs doing, without complaint, even when it's hard. We know that as cheerful service and servant leadership, it is the root of our community, whatever the task. You meet it with a willing heart. You don't wait for someone else. Don't make excuses. You serve. That is the spirit that brought the men and women we honor today, to serve their country. They stepped up, they answered the call, and they did the hardest job imaginable, so that we could stand here safely this morning. Scouting taught me to serve. The veterans that we remember today showed the world what service truly looks like. And I am proud to be a scout, and I am grateful, deeply grateful, to my family for putting me in this path. And to my community for always asking my brother scouts and I to not only decorate the graves of our deceased veterans, but to then include us in the ceremony each year. But most of all, on this Memorial Day, I am grateful to the fallen, to the soldiers and sailors, the airmen and Marines, and the men and women whose names are carved in stone and carried in the hearts of veterans safely with us today. We will remember you, and the fallen soldiers go next year. Thank you.
Okay, while a traditional rifle salute is not part of today's ceremony, we gather with equal gratitude and reverence to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. Please stand and join us in a moment of silence to honor all those who gave the ultimate sacrifice to the United States of America. Please remain standing. And to end out our ceremony, I'd like to call up Bart Healy, who will play taps. our ceremony, I want to thank the Ocean Township Public Works Department. I want to thank the Ocean Township Police Department. Today's ceremony, let us carry this forward and go visit a site. If it dries out, go see our beautiful memorial that we have, thanks to Jim Mack and his work. This has been truly a fantastic ceremony today. I want to thank everyone who made it possible, especially Jen Nordstrom and her team that come out here for every event, that make it successful and so inclusive for everybody in our municipality. I want to thank our first responders. I want to thank all our veterans, our active military, the 4th grade students from Hillel Yeshiva in the middle school of Miss Jenny Osseline's class, the John Brucknell Brass Band, and community members for being here today. I have, I believe, 2 letters, Jen? Did you? Before we conclude, I would like to read a couple of letters from our students in town here. And this one starts off with, sorry, my color pencils were really bad. But it's great when they put this together. It says, "Dear hero, thank you for protecting us from danger. I really appreciate your hard work. You're so brave for everything that you do. I'm really sorry if you lost somebody. I just want you to know that you did the right things. I know you worked so hard. It would take someone like you to make someone's day. Thank you for your service. We all appreciate you so much. You saved so many people's lives." From Albert. And our next one is a little shorter and to the point. "Dear hero, thank you for risking your life for America. You are so brave. Protecting the country from bombs is so cool." I love Alma. Those are the students. Thank you, and may God bless our fallen heroes, our armed forces, and this great United States of America. Thank you. Have a great day.